Hey, welcome to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. Drive safe. We're going to have to slow down a little bit today. Talk slow a little bit. You know, it's a calming year right now. I'll tell you the only thing that's really not calm right now are the amount of acquisitions going on in the industry already. We talked about yesterday Canada buying the Hart Transportation.
Yeah.
Yet Schneider just did another purchase. There's some acquisitions going on across this world. Across this country, and I think it's expected. You know, I would have thought we'd have seen one or two, maybe more close at the end, but there were some big ones last year. Don't take that. I mean, some huge ones. You had UPS, on the on the LTL side, go get sold. There's a lot of acquisitions. I do expect 2022 to be a little bit I'm going to say it's going to be a crazy acquisition year for many companies. It's the only way they're going to be able to grow. Still with the chip shortage, still with a truck shortage, the new trucks being on allocation. Has anybody seen a trailer yet? I don't even see new trailers down the highway. I see no temporary tags going on. So one way to grow in this market that, let's face it, it's a pretty good market, is to acquire companies with trucks. I mean, we start the year and it's early, okay?
It is early.
I mean, let's face it, it's the first week, but still, we started off with a little bit more volume than we did last year. If we look at this, some key marks that we spoke about was in that August period, and we look at it right here. August of 2020, we started to see some trends going on. And if you look from August all the way through, just stay on this top part right here, you see the numbers are pretty similar. We can start seeing the downward spikes, right, around holidays.
Yep.
Coming up after a holiday. Freight's really not changing much. We look at the same thing in November, in December, and January. So trends appear to be the same. Dave, it's probably fair to say, going into 2022, that we will follow along the same trend line. Here was 21 in the green. Okay, again, this orange we don't care about. That's 19 and 20. Yep. Right? So it's not relevant at this moment. We have new trends. We have new. We become different consumers. We become different. Different in the way we buy everything. So look here. So it's fair to say, Dave, that we're probably going to trend right along the same path the rest of the year, going up and down and kind of hanging out in that same area. I would say if I looked at 2022. Expect it to be kind of like it was the last couple of years.
You've heard it here first.
Drive safe, Dave. A struggle from the holidays. I want to talk about that today. As we see the freight where it is today. And let's just do this real quick, Dave, because I want us to look as well as those rejections that are going on. So we're coming off a holiday. We had the Christmas and the New Year, right?
Right.
Those are holidays in which drivers tend to take off a lot of time. It's the best time to take it, right in that period right there. Well, here we are now, Dave, at 25.18% on the freight rejection rate. That's a lot of freight being rejected.
That's a lot.
And freight's not near as heavy as it was before the holiday, right? We're still 4,000 shipments under that.
Yeah.
And yet now 4,000 shipments a day under what we had, yet rejections remain high at 25%. Dave, why is that?
It's still a lot of freight. I believe it's still a lot of freight.
And to go along with that, I'm going to tell you today across this country that we still have between 16 and 20% of the drivers that were driving before Christmas not back at work.
I agree.
Owner-operators, company drivers. Listen, when they get home during this period, it is tough to get them out of the house. It is tough.
They're tired. They're tired.
You know what? And you're right.
They're tired.
Because last year they ran more miles than they've ever had. You know what? If you talk about an independent contractor or company driver, at the end of the day, most of them had their best year ever. Wow, Dave, we had some major ice and snowstorms. I think there was 25 trucks involved in accidents along the highway as well last night.
Yeah, so not only that, they just couldn't move. They had dumped so many, like over a foot of snow on the highway, and it locked it up. And, that's about 20 years ago, I got stuck on 95, not far from this same location for about 12 hours just south of D.C. and I'm telling you about 12 hours, but the that's about between the mile marker 100 and about mile marker 150. That got shut down for that extended period of time, and those people were stranded. And you run into a lot of issues when you do that. You got people that run out of fuel. You got people that don't have anything to drink, no water, no bathrooms, no anything, and it makes it very, very difficult.
Yeah, and you bring up that because it's wintertime, and we talk about this being prepared for winter. And that's you in the four-wheelers as well, making sure that you're leaving with a full tank of gas.
Correct.
You know, you can't always rely on the signs. We saw that, right? The signs is, or I didn't get anything on my app. You know, no notification come. Hey, don't forget, you know, there's still a thing called AM radio.
Yeah.
And AM tends to have some phenomenal road conditions and weather.
Even FM radio. I mean,
even FM.
You know, and by the way, FM radio started 82 years ago today. I don't know if anybody knew that.
Wow, big news.
Anyway,
should have led off with that.
I should fact check that one.
You can fact check that if you like. But 82 years ago today, FM radio started today. But I'll tell you, you're right. You not only, you know, everybody should have gloves and something and a blanket in the car, or especially if you're going to road trip. Make sure you have water in there, some snacks, and keep your tank as full as you can. I would say never get below ever a quarter. Never get below a quarter tank of fuel. Always keep well above that.
When there's no parking available at a truck stop,
Amen.
Welcome to the life when they're parked on the side of the road on the exit ramp where they're probably not supposed to be parked at. Certainly not a safe place. Hey, guess what? It sucked, didn't it?
Yeah, it sucked.
And that's every day. We talk about the infrastructure bill. Boy, howdy, you know what? You from D.C., I'm hoping that maybe they were caught in some of that to experience just a little bit drive safe of what our industry goes through all the time.
Yeah, and you know what? It's
no food.
Yeah, it's gonna. You know what I mean?
Sucks.
Unfortunately, there are no senators and representatives in Washington right now, so we probably didn't see a lot of them getting stuck, or anybody really working in Washington.
But you know what? I want those stories to go around. I want, you know, those to me when I saw that on the news, and I'm just saying, I know it sucked being stranded, but you know what? It sucks being stranded on the side of the road because there's no parking. It sucks, right?
Oh man, I'm telling you.
I mean, tell me about that, Drive Safe Dave. And you know what? If you're out there right now, hey, tell me how good you feel to wake up, you know, to pull over, get your break in on the side of the road, no facilities, and God forbid you have to take a leak during that 10-hour break.
Oh,
I don't know who doesn't, and oh no, if you're doing it outside, you're the devil. You know what's wrong with you? And where are they going to go, Dave?
They're not. And you know, just over the years, You found ways to, you know what? I've cleaned a few tires off in my time, and I've done what needed to be done. I've made sure, you know, on a quality control check out there on the steer tire. But I'm telling you, you don't have any unless you've lived it, unless you've done it, unless you've had to pull over and been tired, exhausted, pulled over at tried a Walmart. They tell you to leave. Try a exit ramp. They tell you to get going. I mean,
you can't do it. You get a ticket.
It just is continuously on and on and on. And you know what? It hasn't improved greatly in the Northeast at all.